back like 2 minutes later because we were on a Skype date and then we went into voice chat.
Okay, there you go.
Gosh, all right, I've got to figure out what.
Adorable.
We're back. Welcome to the second half of Monsterhearts with these wonderful people. We're currently playing the most dangerous game of Dungeons and Dragons that's ever been played, while Piaan takes her character Medusa upstairs to Stacy mom, Dustin's mom. I guess Dustin's mom, she's got it going on. She's all I want, and I've waited for so long. I think that's the lyrics of the song.
I like it. I'll take it.
So, I believe we were about to punch or somehow physically injure or force Jacqueline out of the way. Why don't you tell me what exactly is happening, Sabine?
So, at this moment, when Sabine witnesses Jacqueline's failure at trying to get Dustin's vote, so Sabine thinks that she's going to intervene and convince Dustin via intelligence and his sense of civic duty and voting and how important this is for high school and lays the foundation for a future. And that also doesn't work.
Backfires.
It was quite disastrous, actually. And it turns out that Dustin sort of retreats more and more into himself and is not categorically saying he's going to give his vote for class president to Sabine, which that's just it.
He's gone feral, actually. He's having a Subaru moment from ReZero. He's just like, hey, this isn't going any way that I planned. Like, it was going to be so different. I can't believe these people are paying attention to me. They're all so much cooler than I am, but they're ruining my game and my life. I don't know what's happening.
And he's being so ineffectual and indecisive right now, and it just pissed Sabine is just like,
that's the problem with independent voters. You just never know what they're going to do.
And to Sabine, like, Dustin is that, she's projecting in her mind, like when they count the votes and it's like Jacqueline wins by 1 vote, or she's like, no! Like, it's Dustin. So she's just, she can't contain herself anymore. This idea of this, he's standing in the way from her owning this class presidency. He's the vote that is going to ruin it for her, and she just needs to knock some sense into him.
Okay. But Jacqueline is in your way, so what are you going to do about it?
And Jacqueline is in my way.
She's physically in your way and is not scared of you.
Yeah, very, very strong. And I think that there's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of, I threw the table. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of yelling. And like Medusa, it's like, but the snacks. There's people just everywhere. And I think this, so I said, what I had said before the break, that I feel like this is a good moment. Something with when you saw me die. I feel like this stand that you're taking right now, that's what that reminds me of. And I think I'm thrown off for a minute, like for a second. It's just enough. I'm just like, I get just really confused. So I am not going to attack Jacqueline. I am having a moment where there's this like flashback where I see you so clearly the day that I died, looking like you look like right now, almost in this.
I was wearing this exact outfit.
That must be what it is.
And like I have both my hands up like this, which like right now is like, hey, stop. But at the time it was like, oh no.
And it's that moment, I think, for sure, that is just enough to sort of knock a little bit of sense into Sabine. I think she'd divert her energy away from Jacqueline. And if there's something she could break, I feel like, I would just, try and hit something else. But I definitely wouldn't. Yeah, I'm having a moment. Sabine is having a moment where she's just having a flashback right now. She's not gonna.
Okay.
She wouldn't push.
So you're just like throwing a temper tantrum then? In a way.
Yeah, I would. If there's anything else to, I could kick a
Yeah.
chair, break a
Yeah, you
chair.
just start
I
breaking his stuff,
definitely.
and Dustin is like, no, no.
Yeah. Actually, what I want to do right now is I actually want to use this as an opportunity to gaze in the abyss.
Oh, of course. Why not?
I mean, we haven't done it yet,
We haven't
and
talked about what the abyss
Yes.
is.
yeah, it's a good question.
I think it's time to start establishing that, all three of us. You've all gazed into the abyss before. It just happens sometimes. What is the abyss? Is it literally like satanic force? Is it Cthulhu? Is it just a dark place where all of humanity's deep desires go to, and you look in there and sort out what you need?
Ooh, I like that one.
You like it to be the collective unconsciousness of humanity's deepest, darkest thoughts?
Because like I kind of want to like use this as like a moment to try to be like, how can I get the most out of this situation?
Okay, well.
Like I'm taking a moment here to be like, okay, is Dustin a lost cause, or can I swing Sabine here? Like kind of like to see like if I could take one of them under my wing, I could use them to my ends and my purposes. Which one of them and so forth is kind of what I'm.
Yeah. Is there a physical or noticeable change that happens when you gaze into the abyss? Do like your eyes go black? Or is it just like a third eye thing where you focus for a moment?
I actually feel like my eyes go more like paler, like white, and like glow ever so slightly, like or not
Oh,
really
yeah,
blue,
no,
but,
you're
like,
totally an ice bro from Game of Thrones.
it's fine. Don't worry about it. Like not nearly that much, but yes, like that, only not quite so much.
I mean, you're the Ice Queen, right?
That's true. I am an ice queen. It's very true. So that makes sense. Yeah.
What question would you like to have answered?
That's what I was trying to phrase here is
You
like
want to know whether you can use Dustin or Sabine to advance your future plans.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
It's pretty
Roll the bones.
It's kind of vague, but I think that's
Well, that's good because there's a lot of outcomes where the answers are equally vague. Well, not that one. That's a good outcome. Okay, you get to choose two options. The visions are lucid and detailed. The visions show you what you must do and carry you +1 forward while you're doing it. The visions cure you, removing a condition. I don't think you have any conditions.
I don't have any conditions, so I think they are lucid and detailed, and I carry one forward to doing whatever the thing is.
Have you watched Twin Peaks?
I have not, actually.
Okay. There's this thing that they do where they record dialogue and then they play it backwards and record that. When you speak backwards, your emphasis is on the wrong words, the wrong parts of the words, right? Because when you're saying a word backwards, you're like "reta" rather than whatever it would be forward. And your visions have that kind of strange quality, but you see in it that you can use both Sabine and Dustin to help propel yourself forward. Like, you can use Dustin to get to Sabine. If you can get Dustin's vote, you can use that against Sabine to just keep her in like this ghoulish well of self-despair and loathing where she keeps lashing out and destroying herself. And in your vision, you see that she starts lashing out at people like during the vote counting, and Dustin's just like, calm down, and she just like literally rips a person in half with her hands, and you're like standing on the like election podium nodding as everyone's screaming and running in terror, and you're like, yep, I just made it to the top. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love it.
If you take Dustin, you take the world.
Okay, well, sweet. I have one forward to that. So I think that, I'm standing there. I moved from like behind Dustin to in front of Dustin. I think I'm going to turn back to Dustin now that Sabine is having a moment. And I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder again and be like, maybe we should get out of here.
What is your goal here? Do you want to turn him on, or are you trying to get him to do what you want? They're not always the same thing.
I feel like in this case they kind of are. And I am not above using turning someone on to get what I want.
I mean, yes,
think,
if you turn him on, you get a string on him, which you can later use to force him to do things.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to turn him on here.
Okay, let's roll for it. And in front of Sabine, just
oh no, yeah,
no shame.
I have
shit,
0 shame.
Yep. Well, good news is you have a string on Dustin now.
Brilliant.
So you can add +3 to manipulating him when you roll. Or you can cause him to falter, hesitate, or freeze up. Or put a condition on him.
Fantastic. I think right now I'm going to tell him we need to leave. And
okay, yeah. Well, I mean, he's literally watching Sabine destroy his basement, and he's just like, yeah, okay, yeah. And the two of you go out the basement door into the night. I know that this is a super tense scene, and I really want to come back to what Sabine does in a moment. But Medusa is upstairs trying to hit on Miss Morgan.
That is important. Let's see that.
I want to know what's happening. So Mrs. Morgan, I don't know. You know what? Why don't you tell me what she looks like, Piaan?
I don't know.
Is she played by a particular actress?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. We'll say she's your average Caucasian housewife wasp, just like doing some dishes, and when you come upstairs, she hears all sorts of crashing things down there, and she's like, oh, Medusa, are you up here to get some more snacks for your LARP? I know Dustin, when his friends come over and they do that LARPing thing, sometimes they get too involved with the Nerf guns and the Nerf swords.
Yeah, they're just like messing around down there. I'd love some more snacks. Yeah.
So she's like, "Is there anything you like in particular?"
Chicago style popcorn.
She's like, "No, I don't know. We have Toblerones, Tim Tams, Goobers, Cheetos."
Ooh, could I have some Cheetos?
Yeah, she gets you some Cheetos.
Yeah. I just want to talk to the mom for a little bit because they're just down there fighting like children.
I mean, you don't understand their human ways.
Yeah.
So she's just like, "Are you having fun? I know that Dustin can be a little strange. He's just not grown into being a young man yet."
It's more that the two girls down there they're at each other's throats.
Oh, I was a young woman once. I know how catty those bitches can be. She's like, you've always seemed like a nice young girl to me. You spent a lot of time around Dustin. I feel like that's important. I don't know what kind of game they're trying to play beyond Dungeons and Dragons, but they don't... Oh, man, totally. She's like, they don't seem like the Dungeons and Dragons type to me. She said
I don't think so either. They're more trying to get their votes for...
Votes? Votes for what?
Class president.
This is all about class... They're paying a lot of attention to Dustin for a vote for class president. She's just like... laughs for a moment, and for some reason I imagine she has a martini in her hand and takes a sip, and it's just like, they must really want his vote for some reason. It
baffles me too.
Yeah, she's like, class president was so different in my day. I couldn't even think of a girl running for class president, and now two of them against each other, and they need my Dustin's vote. This is ah. Shakes another sip of the martini.
Secretly, Dustin is the protagonist in a weird anime.
I really am getting a huge anime vibe from this so far.
I think Medusa just kind of nods and goes like, I don't understand these weird, like,
Humans.
yeah, basically. She like says humans without saying humans.
Oh, she pats you on the head and is like, "Oh, it's all right, dear. In a couple of years, everything will make sense, and they'll be eating out of your palm."
Medusa just kind of like tilts her head and like squints.
Is it? Oh, you have snake eyes too, right? So she's just like, you have some very strange eyes. Have you seen an ophthalmologist lately? She like goes to her purse and starts going through her business cards, and is telling you about Dr. Richter, who is her ophthalmologist. Very nice man.
I like put my hand on hers and I'm like, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Is the like ruffling downstairs stopped yet or no?
Yeah, it has. You hear the
Okay.
slamming of a door, the basement door.
Okay, well, I should probably go back down there. Thank you for the Cheetos. I'll enjoy them. These weird puffed cheesy things.
Okay, well, have fun and vote responsibly. Okay, when you go downstairs, we see our good friend Sabine. What's happening with you, Sabine? You've just watched Jacqueline walk out of the basement with Dustin while you were busy, like, tearing up his stuff.
That part is expected. I think at this point, Sabine is realizing her darkest self is like when the darkest self comes out, it hasn't yet gotten to a point where Sabine realizes this may be something that she can use. When her darkest self comes out, she feels like she's lost. So I think she's resigned to give this round to Jacqueline. But if Medusa comes downstairs, then that's her new focus.
Oh dear God.
So she seriously, it's like night and day. As soon as you get there and she turns around and she sees you, she straightens herself out. Everything is good. And then she says, you and I need to talk.
She just like squints. Is like, I don't understand. I don't what?
There's a short play, Medusa, and there's a long play. I'd like to win both.
Is this part of the Dungeons and Dragons game?
In a way, yes.
Do you know what it's about rolling a different die each time? Like,
actually, I explain what my plan is using the different dice. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Oh boy.
Yes. And so it's essentially becomes, D4s are like pawns, and sometimes we use them, and then we've got some special powers, and I show you a dungeon master guide and a bunch of different
characters. Is this a sex thing?
It could be. But in this case, it's not. And then all I need from you is I just look at her and I go, do I have your vote? You see what happens when I don't.
I don't vote for class presidents. Sorry.
Medusa.
It's just kind of like I don't see the point in it.
Your counterculture ways are so quaint. Okay. You're the short play then. But I have a longer play. A much, much.
Is this the sex thing?
You're the best, Piaan. You're the absolute best.
Oh.
I am interested in what it would take to get your vote. Is it going to take a sex thing? And then do you have hair? I don't know what you look like actually.
I think Medusa like kind of like does this like hold the chin thing and like looks off for a second, is like, I want you to come to my, let's say, secret fort.
Okay.
Okay?
Right now? Is it an
Yeah.
actual place, Medusa, or are you just making
I
No,
think
no,
she's
you-
taking you to her lair, her secret snake lair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know each other are monsters? I didn't even think to ask that
I
question.
don't know that you do. None of you have implied that yet. I guess almost certainly Jacqueline knows that Sabine is a monster, given that she's seen you die.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
We can establish
I'm-
that you all know your monsters. Maybe it's like the Being Human in the US version. Everybody can just smell everybody else as a monster. They're all like, werewolf, vampire. Do you all know your monsters? You tell me. I feel like that'd be a cool thing to...
I would prefer it if people did not know that Medusa was a monster.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I don't even think that Jacqueline thinks that she's a monster.
She hasn't realized that her weird
Oh, no.
powers are weird powers.
No,
She
not
just
even a little bit.
You know, she just assumes that the
She's the
glory of
best.
her birthright, she's the overmind, the eternal will of
Yeah.
the swarm.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so now we have two divergent storylines. We have Jacqueline in the woods with Dustin, and we have Medusa and Sabine going to the snake lair. Which one do we want to follow first, Telltale Game style?
I say follow their story first because
Okay.
the two PCs together.
So, what does your house look like? Not the snake lair, but what does your actual house look like?
It's pretty big. It's like a pretty big house. It's got like a lot of people in it. Like I've got a ton of family members. Like way too many.
So, you're so close to your weird fort lair in the backyard. Your like hand is about to close on it, and your mother is just like, Medusa, and she comes out wearing this very tight dress that's got some sort of weird skirt thing around the waist that makes it look all slithery. And she's doing that weird walk thing she does where it doesn't look like she's walking. She's just gliding across the ground with very short shuffling steps, and looks at you with her snaky eyes that
Yes,
all of your
Mother.
family has. And she's like, are you taking that young woman downstairs with you?
Yes, mother.
Well, I want to make sure I get the wording on this correct. Because she can force you to do things, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're convinced by bidding of a family member. Yes. So she's just like, while you're seeing to your guest's comfort, be sure to, and she just uses some like random phrases, But what she's saying is make sure to like drain her of her human essence so that we can use it to gain her beauty type thing. She just uses some code words. Make sure she tries the seltzer water.
Of course, mother.
And she's like, yes, no, the seltzer water. She seems like the kind of young woman who likes seltzer water. And this very stern, cold mother turns to look at you, Sabine, and is like, you do like seltzer water, don't you?
I don't know. Actually, do I like seltzer water?
You should try some. It's very good. It'll do wonders for your skin.
Do I, as a monster, and I know I'm a monster, would I pick up on people acting monstery?
I mean, they are acting very unusual.
Yeah.
You're literally about to go into a backyard wood fort that goes down into the ground rather than up the tree.
That's what I'm
And
kind of going.
they're really insistent on talking about seltzer water for some reason.
I see here I have options to either hold steady in a scary or tense situation, or gaze into the abyss, which would give me some further.
Oh yes,
information.
gazing into the abyss would give you something.
Yeah, so I would like to try gazing into the abyss.
What would you like to know before I answer it?
I would like to confirm my suspicions that, at the very least, Medusa's mother is a monster.
Okay. All right.
At the very least, that that maybe, yeah, that's it. I want to just really confirm, like, I want to put it out there. Like, I know you're a monster.
I feel like the soundtrack for this scene would be some sort of symphonic metal version of Phantom of the Opera. Where someone's just like, inside your mind.
Yeah.
And then you look into the abyss, and let's see what you see.
All right, so I rolled dark.
Yes, you roll darkness.
Okay, and it's at a -1, but it's got a check mark next to it.
So you're going to get your 5th point of experience, and that means you're going to earn an advancement in the process.
Okay, so let's see what happens. First, let's see if I go, hey, monster buddy. What's that?
Monster buddies.
No!
Nope. I mean, you're already in your darkest self, so I can't make you do that.
Do I, if I'm in my darker self and I'm walking with Medusa, do I need to roll to not hurt her?
No, because you're trying to get power off of her. You're
Yes.
trying to feed on the hunger.
Yes.
Yeah. You look into the abyss and something stares back. Like, you're like, is her mother a monster? And you're like paralyzed with fear as you see her mother's snake eyes staring at you. And you realize that her snake eyes are appearing right in front of you, even though she's like standing across the courtyard, and you're not able to move as she starts coming closer and closer, and then just like sheds her dress as she becomes this weird snake monster that starts wrapping you up. And, you know, you're just like, oh no, what's happening? And she's just like, oh, don't worry, young lady. My daughter's going to drain your life essence. You're going to make her beautiful, just like you. Quiet, Medusa!
Why do you have to do this every time, Mom?
She's trying to tap into the abyss. She's more powerful than even I'd realized.
Mom, every time.
If I thought you could handle this
on
on your...
Just make up some excuse to kill my friends.
If I thought you could handle this yourself, young lady, I would have let you. Now, I'm going to carry her down into your lair, and you're going to drain her life essence dry, and you're going to do exactly what I say, as I say it, or you're grounded. I'm going to make you sleep in the ground for the next week. Is that what you want? You want to sleep in the dirty, slimy ground?
Like I already sleep there anyway.
Well, you're going to have to sleep there, and it's going to be even colder than normal. I'll turn off the heater.
Mom.
Yeah, so Snake Mom, having constricted you, is now slithering down into the secret fort with a somewhat more reluctant Medusa behind her. And I feel like now's a great time to jump over to the Dustin and Jacqueline show.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the perfect kind of way. So Jacqueline doesn't like really have a place in mind to take Dustin except just out of that situation. So I think she's gonna turn to him and ask him where he wants to go. Be like,
Dustin's like hyperventilating too. He's like, okay, you know, I don't really go out after dark. And I usually tell my mom where I'm going. Where do you go to do cool stuff?
like immediate. All right, can we smash cut to that place?
Yes.
It's definitely a nightclub, and we are definitely imbibing. Like I just picture like where do you go to do cool stuff? Like just immediate like thum 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 going on in
Are
the
you in the
background.
Are you in the VIP section? Because
Yeah, and we're fucking doing Neo Valium Blue Crystal. Like I'm hooking him up.
Oh,
And
he's just like, this is amazing.
yeah,
I never realized doing drugs was so cool. I don't know why everyone says we shouldn't do it.
I know, right? It's pretty great.
Yeah.
And like Olivia and Sarah and Tammy are all there.
Yeah,
because
Tammy's
keep
like
it
picking
nice,
up
so
on
we're all-
this. Tammy's like shaking him from behind and like, yeah, do it. And is like trying to get him to do some more Neo Valium.
Mhm.
And she's probably like, yeah, I like cut this dose myself. It's super pure. My chemistry scores are A+. I don't even have to try. I just show up for the tests.
It's good. It's good. You do all the good work. That's why. Oh, this is good. Yeah. And like after a moment, I think we are going to be like out on the dance floor, just like
Oh, do we do like a weird drug haze cut where it's just like, and like every few seconds it cuts to a different angle of Dustin basically doing the white guy flop where he's like, yeah, bro. He's starting to act a lot like Jordan, actually.
that makes a lot of sense.
He doesn't really know how to act while being cool, so he just defaults to the coolest guy he knows.
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty funny. Basically I'm still trying to manipulate him into getting the vote, but I'm just going in a very different route now.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
You have if you spend your string, you'll have a +3 to this.
After.
That's true. Can you?
Yeah.
Choose after rolling. Yes, that's true.
It's true.
Poor Dustin.
A 9. Do I want to spend that string here? What happens on a 9? No. Can I get my 1 forward from my vision to manipulate Dustin to have his vote count here?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you get a 10+. They'll do what you want if you give them a bribe, a threat, or a motive. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think the bribe here or motive is that, you know, a vote for Jacqueline is a vote for crazy drug parties. Like, you want to do this again?
So to be clear, just to lay it out, your bribe is you will continue to hang out with him and provide him with drugs and dancing clubs if he votes for you.
Basically.
And he's like, frick yes.
Adorable.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, check it. I'm such a bad boy now. And he tries to do the b-boy stance. and then like stumbles and falls into somebody.
Oh, it's beautiful.
He's super high. All right, let's cut back to. I'm imagining a weird ritual chamber, Piaan, with like a stone table on it. But you tell me where you drain the life.
It's literally just like it's like one of those rooms in Skyrim.
Ah, yep, yeah, like one of the dragon priest temples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what we get is, Sabine, you're like tied to this table. And everyone just keeps talking in really sibilant S's about how they're going to drain your life essence and murder you for your beauty. Yeah, I know. It's not great.
That is not great. And also, do I need to do anything with advancement?
Yes. Now would be a great time to take an advancement. So... if you scroll down on your character sheet to near the bottom, there is a section called Advancement. So you can do things like take a ghoul move, take a move from another person's sheet, add to your stats. And I'm not sure what Necrotic Caretakers is. Let me check your skin.
Necromantic Caretaker. I have to go get my infusion of formaldehyde.
Yeah, they basically are people that take care of you.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And or I can add one to my. Do I need to do anything with seasons?
No, we would have to be playing multiple episodes for that.
Okay. I'd like to take. I think I'm gonna take another ghoul move.
Necromantic Caretakers are apparently a gang that you get.
Get a gang?
Yes, you could get a gang.
That sounds fun. We'll get a gang.
Okay, yeah. I guess they show up, like, right now. Let's see here. Ask leading questions, the possible introduction of the Ghouls Gang, Necromantic Caretakers. Yeah, so tell me, you get like 3 other undead type ghouls. Are they like the rest of your brothers and sisters?
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with. And what's funny, Arthur, is that before I realized what the gang was I was gonna go with what the right hand wants, which was essentially me being pieced together with pieces of my siblings. But I think what ended up happening is once the successful resurrection of their daughter happened, they went back and were like, okay, we know what to do now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I like the idea that they pop out of the ground, like from burrowing, like one hand up style, like
Yes.
All right, Medusa. It used to be a scene where you had complete power and Sabine was strapped to a table, and now you and your mom are outnumbered by a bunch of ghouls popping out of the ground. Go. What do the two of you do?
Mom, see, this is what happens.
Young lady, do not talk back to me.
This is what happens. Why do, like, every single time something just goes wrong, but you just can't, for once, you just can't let my friends just, like, have a fun time.
Your friends are important to advancing this family's return to beauty. Listen,
but Mom!
Just knock these ghouls out. You're powerful enough, young lady. Just do it. Do what I say, or else. Knock them out, and we'll drain all of the beauty from them, too, although clearly we're not going to get very much.
Mom. Every single time.
Is Sabine conscious? Am I conscious?
Yes.
Or I can't,
yes, you're conscious. You're not paralyzed anymore. You're only paralyzed when she was like wrapping you up and using her darkness powers. You could technically run away or escape somehow if you wanted to.
No. I feel like my instinct from before about maybe I'm meeting a kindred spirit. I especially now with her like, eat them already. I'm like, okay, this is confirmed. That's how Sabine feels like. Oh, and Medusa, I know your last name, and we'll assume that is your mom's last name, and so I address her as such in a very deferential way.
What is your last name? Serpentis.
I love it.
No, it's literally just Serpentine.
Serpentine. Your name is Medusa Serpentine.
Yes.
Wow, your family is really good at hiding among humanity.
I will, and if there is any like accent that's needed to pronounce this, I definitely am gonna go for it. I want it to sound like I know what I'm, kind of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And we'll say, Ms. Serpentine, I see that young Medusa here and I, and perhaps you, have something in common. I didn't expect that.
Hair flip.
But clearly, with my siblings coming, and I love you too. Don't text mom. Okay. I think a conversation can be had here. Medusa, this is my family. We are monsters. Just like you, it would seem.
Yes.
Yeah, because my mom just can't hide anything.
Your mom is going to spend a string to offer you an experience point to stay quiet while the adults talk.
No.
You want that dank experience point, or you want to shut your mom down?
I want to shut my mom down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your mom is like, young lady, why don't you be quiet while the adults talk? It would seem that the tables have turned, and she's like literally turning the stone table that you're on, so that she can get her head near yours, so she can loom over you while her weird snake goop drops out of her mouth. It would seem that if I harm you, your ghoul friends might hurt my daughter. And while I have dozens of children, I love all of them so very much. Don't I, Medusa? Your development is so important to me. She stares.
Can I help Medusa here by, I see there's a thing here called call people out on their shit.
Oh, that's a grown-up move. You have to have gotten a number of advances in order to do that.
I see. To be able to do that. Is there a way that I can help Medusa without being a grown-up?
Yeah,
Yet?
I feel like there's definitely a
I
way.
think at this point, Medusa's just kind of like, I think Medusa's just gonna like slowly walk, like she's gonna put her hands behind her back and like hold them there. And then she's slowly gonna walk up and just like stand in front of her mother.
Oh, so you're getting between your mom and Sabine.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna stand there.
Yeah, Sabine is, I mean, it's clear that you're being protected now. Is there something you want to do to Snake Mom, Miss Serpentine?
Yes. Okay. There's a shutdown.
Yeah, you could shut her down.
Cold is a better stat for me than manipulate.
Let's do
I'm
it.
I'm not so good with that. So I'm gonna try. Yeah, and I'm partial to. Well, I think I'm very partial to Medusa since she was that person that kind of showed me about that love, my background. That she reminded me of what love was, and so I do kind of want to stick up for her. So I'm gonna shut her mom down. Hopefully, the two of us together will make it happen. I go to my sheet. I push the cold button, right? Because it's a shutdown.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I hope it works.
Don't roll low. No. No.
6.
No. Oh.
Is
Wait,
there?
can I wait? Can I spend a string to do something?
Let's see here.
Because I have 2 strings on Sabine.
That's true. Let's see here. I don't know that you can like help them out in any way.
Can I spend my string on an NPC? Oh, no, it has to be a string
Yeah,
on.
it has to be on
Got it,
that
I
specific
understand.
person.
I get it. Got it.
Oh boy,
Yes.
you're already in the darkest self. Yeah. So there's a price to be paid for your impertinence. You try shutting her mom down by just out staring her. And she's just like warm smiles. She's got the full eye smile too. It's like it's not fake at all. And then she backhands Medusa. Medusa, can you take 1 harm real quick? And is like, this is what you're protecting? This thing on the table? If you won't have her beauty, then I will. And she like pulls out a ritual knife and just starts like chanting over her forehead, just like weird serpenty sounds like.
So every gang has something that will trigger it into a blind action?
Yeah.
When that trigger occurs, they will pursue retaliation?
Yes.
Or dedicated
So there's
response?
the thing.
Whether you want them to or not. Uh-oh.
Your gang is about to tear Serpent Mom apart if she doesn't
Yeah.
act. Everything is hanging on the action of Medusa, I think. Will you defend your mom? Will you let the ghouls tear her apart? Will you free Sabine? Do you just run away? I know, it's emotionally exhausting.
So good.
Hold on. Hold on. I got an idea.
It's so good.
She's texting Dustin real quick, like, yo, what should I do? And he's just like, always roll crits.
Roll 20. She's like, what dice is that? Is that a sex thing?
Oh my god. Is that a sex thing? I feel like that's going to be the name of the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a sex thing?
So Medusa's gonna like stand up to her mother and just go, no. This is my friend. Why do you always have to kill my friends?
Oh man.
What are you trying to do to your mom here? It sounds like you're sorry, what?
Shut her down.
Okay, let's do it. Man, so much shutdown on the moms tonight.
Medusa. Oh.
All right,
great.
I gotta tell you, there's some very serious consequences to failing this roll.
It's fine.
A lot of people are gonna die if you mess up.
It's fine.
Don't throw away
fine.
your shot. Oh, shot not thrown away.
Oh, snap, Medusa.
All right, so we achieve a kind of plateau balance.
Oh, snap.
Your mom is just like sputtering away into coldness as she stares at you, and it's clear she's reevaluating you as not being as weak as she thought you were. And the ghouls, no longer prompted to instantly defend their sister, is just like waiting, making weird ghoul motions like ah, rah, rah, but they aren't advancing. And your mom's locking eyes with you, and there's that thing in animes where there's like a laser coming from both of you, and there's a weird like squiggly thing in the middle. Young lady, you've spent so much time just wandering around, doing whatever you want.
You
whining.
do this every time.
No,
Mom.
don't ruin it.
Single time.
Don't ruin it. You finally stood up to me, and now you have to go back to whining like a little baby. I was proud of you for about half a second. Well, what do you want me to do?
That half a second. Wow. Amazing.
We need her beauty. Look at her. She's young. She's perfect. I'm sure she's probably...
She's dead!
She's dead! Oh, yes, of course. Well, that does make things rather complicated.
You can't drain her life force because she's dead!
Oh my gosh, Piaan, you have to, like... the volume, like, 20% less. You're blowing your headphones out. I want to cut back to Dustin. While your mom just